What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Level Up Festival. Here, where we give youths the opportunity to meet with innovators who will provide proven tips, strategies, and insights to help us level up and be our best selves. My name is Zachary. I am 17 years old, and I will be one of your hosts for this session. In this session, we will explore the topic leveraging social media for success, presented by Jarrod Best Mitchell. Jarrod is renowned for three things: his passions for sales and sharing that knowledge with his community, his expert understanding of the business to business platform LinkedIn, and most of all, his undying love for the color yellow. Jarrod is one of the top content creators and social sellers on LinkedIn in the Caribbean. Welcome, Jarrod. I'm very excited to hear more on this topic. You can begin whenever you're ready.
Zachary, good afternoon. Good afternoon, folks. How are you doing today, man? All is well?
All is well. All is well.
Lovely. Very honored to be talking on this topic. As they say, leveraging social media. And I want to bring it back to this in terms of leveraging it for your professional career. When I was your age, and I'm double your age, I'm 38. But when I was your age, I was in Form 5. My mother missed the parent-teachers meeting, so she came the day after. And when she asked the dean, what does Jarrod have to do to get back into school? The dean said Jarrod could get all ones and A's and we still won't let him back in. He's like, Jarrod is not just a mischief maker. He coordinates the mischief, he generates the ideas, he brings everybody together, he knows everything. He's just the center stone for everything that is going on inside the school. And my face was in shock because it was partly the truth, but not 100% the truth. But it's just to say, like, fast forward, when I see that same dean, Mr. De La Bastide, shout out to you, they're always in shock when they see where I'm at right now. Because I took that ability that I had to work for a lot of companies in Trinidad and Tobago who are international companies. So Digicel, I went to DHL, which, by the way, proves how much I love yellow. I have worked for Samsung, I've worked for Microsoft, I've worked for Nokia, and I'm on my own, as they say, doing my own thing as a business owner. So it's so interesting how words can play a powerful impact in terms of your reputation when you want to use it for good. And I think that's one of the key things I actually want to talk about. Let me actually just grab up a couple of my notes that I had here because that's key to what I wanted to do. Now, when I was that age, I didn't have social media. And I think that's one of the key things you have to look at right now. So if you're watching this, what I want to ask everybody is, when last have you Googled yourself? So Zachary, take Nawar's phone and Google yourself. Google your name and see what comes up. Because I think that's what you all forget sometimes in this age of social media, which I love, because you can create a great brand for yourself. And I use the word great in a neutral zone because it could be a bad, great brand or a great, great brand, if you understand. So if it is that I want to utilize social media for success, my thing is I actually want to actually create it where it showcases the positive things that I'm always doing or the activities and everything that I'm highlighting. I've been able to craft my brand for myself because I showcase a lot of the stuff that I'm doing on social media, whether it's working with companies or the ideas that I have or the conversations that I'm having with others. And I think because of where social media is now and because so many eyes are on it, this is where you want to pay your attention to and making sure that the image and the information that people see when they find you is something to your benefit and nothing else, nothing to your detriment. So it might sound weird to say, if you want to have two profiles, go ahead. If you want to have professional Jarrod, because depending on the jobs or the universities you're applying to, great, because you might have your other profile, which might be slightly weird. But if you really want to build a great online reputation, the first thing I'll tell you to do is be honest with yourself. Be true to yourself. Everybody knows, like, who follow my profile, you could look at it, you're going to see a lot of yellow. The yellow is no joke. Like, it's not a joke thing. It's not a I'm just doing it randomly. I live and breathe this every single day. It's just something that I love. And I showcase that because I'm honest to myself and I know what I like. And the thing is, you have to be comfortable with knowing that even if I put out this information, some people might not like it, some people will. But that's exactly what you want because you really want to center yourself around the people who are geared and interested in you. And those are the ones who are actually going to push you towards success. And that's one of the key things because you're looking at what you're seeing people getting success with in social media, and it could be a variety of methods. So the question I always ask you is, What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be successful for? And how can you use social media to represent that on a large scale for everybody to find, so that it positions you in an advantageous spot compared to everybody else? And when you think of social media, don't just limit yourself to like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. You have YouTube, you have a bunch of other stuff. I mean, LinkedIn is one of the most powerful platforms you could be right now, even as a young person. And it just really puts you in a position where, they say your reputation precedes you. It will now come where your digital footprint precedes you. Because before a recruiter at the university goes to speak to you, they're going to look for you online, and they're going to look at your social media, and they're going to use that as one of the decision factors in terms of if they hire you for a job or if they enroll you into their organization. So the question I'll keep asking is if you Google yourself, the information that you see, is that what you want people to know about you? Is that the true person that you have for yourself? And if it is, you are on your way to success. You just have to keep building on that. And it's okay to change every once in a while, depending on where you are, what you're doing. But as I say, be true to yourself and keep focusing on that overall goal. Because as great as social media is, you know there are people who use it in the wrong way, and you know people who look at it and see it as something negative if it is that you're putting yourself out there all the time. But trust me, it is one of the best things you can get yourself for success. I see too many people not maximizing it for the opportunities that they have right now, because I know we have a lot of creative persons in our market, young people, and I'm always upset when I don't see them putting their stuff out on social media, because those are the things that will get your attention from people who you have no idea are looking at your content or stumble across it by accident. So you want to make sure that you understand why you want to use it, what's your game plan for it. You have to think of a question of, if I wanted to get into X university, if I wanted to get X job, would this information on my social media negatively or positively impact me? And then, of course, just given the age and the audience that we're dealing with, you have to ask yourself, will my parents get upset at this? Or would my parents be proud of what they're seeing? That's all I'm doing to position myself on social media right now for success. Putting out ways of what I'm doing, helping as many people as possible, having great conversations, and just using this platform to create a community that could leverage in both ways to help others be successful and to help in my success in my career goals. All right?
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that information, Jarrod. Social media as a tool for success is a powerful and valuable thing to have. If you
Yep.
have any questions or comments for Jarrod, please drop them in the chat. And I want to now invite Noah to jump into the conversation. Noah,
Nice.
how are you feeling?
Thank you, Zachary. Really great. Like, I'm feeling fine. Really great information from Jarrod. Let's get the questions going. Jarrod,
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of upcoming entrepreneurs at Heroes, and I want to know, how can we capture a wider audience to increase customer awareness and boost the sales?
By continuously posting content. A lot of y'all aren't telling your stories enough. And a lot of persons now are actually trying to get success too soon. So think about it. If you look at the people who you might be admiring on social media who are in your craft and in your field, look and see where they are with regard to their social media presence. But I want you to scroll to their first post and look how long ago that was. And look how much effort. And like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, are you all familiar with Kivo? Right.
Mhm.
Kivo's the comedian. Kivo's been doing this for many years. It's just that his stuff now started to build momentum. So he was consistent with it. He didn't let it slow down. But then the most important thing is he engaged with his audience. That was something that was super, super important. So as they get out to your communities and they're trying to build awareness, the biggest mistake I see people do is that somebody follows them on social media and they don't acknowledge it. That's the first mistake you make. So one advice I would give you, for those of you on social media and you're building your audience, or somebody leaves a comment or they follow you, I want you to send them a video. Don't send them a text. I want a video. And the reason why I'm saying this is because think of the business you're in. Look at who's the top artist or the top star who's in that business, and think about if they sent you a video, how would that feel? That's how you're going to build your community.
Thanks.
Right. See this question. How do you
My-
handle someone
Yeah.
else's posts and negative things about you online?
Yes.
Whew. You might think I'm lying when I say this. I've never had that happen to me. Wait, have I, boy? No, I don't think so in this context. No. If somebody has posted something negative about you, you have me stumped. I honestly don't know how to address that. If it's like 100% false, like repost the facts, especially if you have the proof. But like first question out the gate, you guys caught me. I have no idea.
I would honestly suggest to report the person first. That will actually help for
It depends on
the
how bad
social
it
media.
is. It depends on how bad.
Yeah,
And I would
honestly.
say don't give it too much attention because they don't want to fan the flames. So, I mean, unless it's something like ridiculously false and accurate that is damaging to your career or to your reputation, yes, address it, make sure you block it, etc. But as I say, don't feed it too much.
I have a question for you here. If we are creating videos, what are some tips to help us get a good quality recording or a really nice frame shot?
All right. Here's another thing. I record all my content on this. This is my Note 10 Plus. I do most of my content on this. I have this Logitech Brio webcam, but this records in the same 4K quality that this does. So the only thing I'd recommend for you is no matter what device you have, because this is my Bible, this is what I do, wipe your lens. I see too many people with cloudy pictures and videos because you oil some your face on it or your fingerprint. Just wipe your lens. Like, that is my pet peeve. That is the only thing I teach clients to do. Wipe your lens if you want to have a great video. Doesn't matter how everything else looks, because most phones take really good video once you wipe the lens.
Okay. Noah,
Okay, I have a question. What
Yes.
is a social media marketing strategy? If it is it important for business only, or do we need one as individuals?
If I understood it correctly, is if it is you need to have a social media strategy for yourself and your business, correct?
Yeah.
Right. I would say yes, and it goes in your personal life and everything. So even if you're trying to get into university, what's your strategy? Is it studying, applying, etc.? Everything must have a strategy and a purpose. It is super, super important to actually make sure that what you're doing is aligned with your strategy, because those things impact your success, it impacts your reputation, your brand, and it definitely impacts the business opportunities that you could create as well. So I would say yes, a social media strategy is important. What is beautiful again about the world that a lot of young people live in today and the world that we live in today is that information is a Google search and a YouTube search away. It is right at our fingertips. I didn't have that when I was in school. You had books. You had to physically read your entire book just to find it. Some of you mightn't even know how to go to your index on a book, but we have the internet, which is 100 times better, 1,000,000 times better.
I've seen we have a question in the chat here.
I
If
like
we
it.
want to feature other people post or share info we think is important, what steps should we take to fact check the info?
Google and YouTube. And then look at the sites that the information is coming from. And of course, given the world that we live in today, a lot of people are spreading misinformation. Trust me, you can search it as quickly as in Google. Because I'm in a group with a lot of my friends from school. Of course, there's some people who are anti-vax with the current situation going on. Some of them share misinformation. I literally grab the images or the text and Google search it, and you're able to tell exactly what is right. That is your best weapon, right? Just make sure it's coming from an accredited site. And of course, given what's happening today, check World Health Organization, check Ministry of Health, but just make sure the information is correct before you share it.
Okay, I have a question here. What can we do on Instagram to help deliver on our social media strategy?
Post content that helps your audience. If you have so the person could probably add context, but if it is that you're selling a product or service, right, your strategy should be how does this help others, and that's what your content should be focused on. It should be focused on the results that people are trying to achieve, right? It should be entertaining to an extent, which is what they call the edutainment, because through the content, you're able to edutain, you're able to add value, you're able to bring clarity to somebody in a topic. but that's what your focus should be, because that always complements the social media strategy that you have.
Okay, thanks. I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are your daily success habits?
My daily success habits.
Yes.
Number one, wear yellow.
Okay.
That is, and like I'm triple yellow right now because it's a yellow polo, yellow pants, yellow slippers. Like it's just yellow. All right,
Okay.
here's the first thing with success. I have it's right here actually. Hold on. I have a gratitude journal because positivity breeds positivity. So every day I write in this journal 3 things that I appreciate and I value in life. I write 3 things that I want happen to me. And then at the end of the day, I talk about 3 amazing things that happened to me throughout the day. So one thing I always tell persons, if you really want to get a successful habit, wake up early, right? Which might be hard for some, but I wake up early because that's my quiet hour. No one else is awake. My daughter's asleep. My wife is asleep. I can get work done. I could go and exercise. My brain is literally operating on like 1,000 in that morning period. And that's a huge part in terms of the productivity that I have in my day. The other thing that I'll tell you in terms of your daily success habits, as weird as it sounds, outsource your weaknesses or outsource the things that you don't like to do. Whether it is you pay for somebody to get it done, or you leverage your skill to provide something for them so that they could give you their skill and do the thing that you don't like. And think about it this way. Most of us might not cut our grass. Can we cut our grass? Yeah. But would we be as skilled as the whacker man? Doubtful. Doubtful.
No.
Do we want to spend that 2 hours in the sun cutting grass? Doubtful. Do you want to watch Netflix? You want to sit online with our friends? You want to do some other activity? That is why it's important to outsource your weaknesses. You use that to maximize your times. And those are my three daily habits as I think about it. That's a good question. I like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
what is a social media marketing strategy?
That's a good question. All right. If people in marketing are watching it, they will probably say I'm wrong with this, but this is how I interpret it, because I'm not a social media expert. I focus mainly on LinkedIn. So let me show you what I interpret as a social media marketing strategy. It's something that's geared towards driving sales towards your business through utilizing the different social media platforms to raise awareness, to educate, and to drive people to reach out to you based on the information that you're presenting so they can either learn more or make the outright purchase. That's what your strategy involves. So it means that you need to focus on understanding where are my customers, how do my customers engage with content on that platform, what is important to my customers, and then making sure that the content you produce speaks to that so that it drives through your whole sales funnel and comes and brings the business back to you. I hope that answer helps.
Yes, it does. It does. I see a question here in chat. Why did you choose to work in sales over another customer-facing role?
Because I am very competitive. Sales is one of the few jobs. No, sales is probably the only job in the world where you can dictate how much money you make based on your input and output. And I talk a lot, and I like talking to people. So I'm utilizing my strengths to my advantage. And over the years, through tons of trial and error, I've become very good at sales. So it's a field that I would not leave because I am addicted to it as much as I'm addicted to yellow.
Okay.
Where can we learn more about leveraging our social media?
Google and YouTube. There is a million. Like, you'll understand, here's the only problem I have right now. The only problem with the information in the world right now is that you may not ask it the right question to get what you want. That is the big challenge that you would have. Because honestly, for me, I've been honest with you, my vocabulary limited. So sometimes I search in for a word, but you might not find it. So you might have to go through 2-3 videos to find the exact thing, or 2-3 articles on LinkedIn, on Google, to find exactly what you're looking for. And then you learn the word or you learn the jargon. That's just all part of the beauty of the process in terms of becoming better. That's something I love doing. You have to get addicted to the fact that, or even you have to get hyped on the fact of when somebody asks you something and you come across something you don't know, to take out your phone or open up your laptop and Google and find out what it is and learn what it is. That's what you actually need to do. Like that's the kind of mindset you need to have. And if you have that, trust me, that is going to make you very successful.
Seen a question here. Is there such a thing as having too much content out there for the young people?
All right, let's ask this. You guys on TikTok, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? How much videos you watch today on TikTok?
I
Lots.
didn't watch any videos today.
You know what? You didn't open TikTok today?
I
But if
didn't
you open
open
TikTok, how much videos you watch on average? 20,
like
30?
I'll stay there for
About
mostly an hour and more.
Right. There's no such thing as too much content. If your content is valuable, the person will always absorb it. Think about it this way. It's like almost saying there's too many Masha Montano songs. Is there? I don't think there's enough.
no.
I don't think there's enough Ufanal songs. I don't think there's enough voice songs. I don't think there's enough Kes songs. So there's no such thing as too much content. The question is it the right content that your audience wants to listen to? And here's a fun fact, because I heard it on a podcast. TikTok actually surpassed YouTube for total monthly views worldwide. Think about that. YouTube is the largest video search engine in the world. TikTok surpassed it. There's no such thing as too much content for your audience. It's making sure that you create the right content. So even if something flops, that just lets you know your audience doesn't care about that type of content. You just need to try again. And the beauty about it is social media unlimited. Don't act like if you post something bad, you're going to get a notice saying you have 10 more tries. You don't. You just post again. And you learn from your mistakes.
Do you think failure is something that is inevitable when trying to get social interactions?
Yes. And failure is inevitable when you're in your journey in life. If it is that actually, let's give you a good example. Jeff Bezos actually asked, I think, over 100 people plus to get investment into Amazon. And I think only 10 took him up on the offer. Like, failure is part of life. Like, getting stuff wrong, not succeeding at things, that's how you learn. You're not going to win at everything in life. And if that's a reason for not attempting something, trust me, you're going to set yourself behind more than anything else. Because let's think about it this way. Let's suppose your goal is to walk uphill to the radar station in Chaguaramas. That's an 8-mile walk, not the tracking station, the radar station. And you walk there, but you go barefoot, without water, bareback. So the sun burn you, you get thirsty, your foot blistered. But you come back 2 weeks later because you made it 3 miles. So now you know exactly how to get to 4 miles and 5 miles and 6 miles, because the failure is teaching you exactly what you need to do at each stage. So failure, and failure is a wrong word. Failure is really a lesson. You need to understand, if I wasn't successful at this, be honest with yourself and ask, where was I wrong? Because I can guarantee you it's no one else's fault, it's yours. Look at where you went wrong, make the decisions, make the commitment to fix what's wrong, and get it right, and get your success.
Another question from chat here. What are the dangers that teens should be aware of when putting themselves out on social media?
That's an excellent question, because we have 7-year-olds who have YouTube channels that making $20 million a year. Again, I would always revert to get your parents involved. First step. A lot of us at this age, and actually here's this, from the moment we're born, we're actually smarter than our parents, because we're the combination of the both of them. So if it is that you want to get on social media, you need to involve your parents, because you want to show them what you're doing. But of course, we have the experience, not only technology, but we can understand when people do certain things or say certain things to give you that advice. The other thing that you do, of course, is research the parental guidelines on each of the different platforms that you're being on, so you can safeguard yourself. Like, YouTube has a lot of restrictions in place for children. I'm not sure how Instagram and the other stuff do it, but getting your parents involved is the first step I think you should actually do if it is that you want to follow, if it is that you want to pursue that lifestyle on social media.
Normally for Instagram, you had to pay your age and stuff, but it's really easy to falsify
I could put 1983.
yeah. And like restrictions, they'll put like, this is not easy to watch, and click to continue. So it's very easy. All you have to do is just click and continue.
Just click.
Yeah.
But they say, and I know it's hard for a lot of young people, especially your age, you have to get your parents involved. At the experience, they'll be able to help you out. Honestly. Get your mom or your dad or older brother or sister or cousin or somebody, but Make sure you have an adult helping you along with the journey. Don't do it by yourself.
Yes.
And that's by the way, Nawara, that's another daily success habit. Collaborate. You get a lot further together. Don't take the journey to success by yourself.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Another question here.
Yeah.
How do we overcome our failures and learn from them?
Sulk when your failure happens for like 5 minutes. Analyze quickly what happened, and then get up and move on, because nobody's going to cry for you. And pity parties aren't part of the road to success.
Honestly, for me, failures, normally, I just look past it, go back through what I did, and then try to improve upon it.
Yeah, take the
uh,
embarrassment. It could have happened in front of all your friends, everything, but you had to move on. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it stop you. You have to move on.
Yes.
In terms of making and sharing content, what are some of the apps or website apps you would recommend? Ooh, that's a good one. That's not. Let me just read Kiona's message, right? Let's pull up Kiona's question. Canva is one of my Bibles. Canva is gold. If you're not using Canva, trust me, PowerPoint is a waste of time. Canva is life. Full stop. Right? The other one that I actually use is an app called Headliner, which actually allows you to put like audiograms, like how you see podcasts with a little audio wave moving. That one I actually enjoy using. InShot is underrated. You need to utilize InShot as well. And again, most of this stuff, again, my phone allows me to do the editing, but a lot of my content I actually shoot in one take. But Canva is like, if you look at my page and stuff, all the content I do is actually pulled from Canva. Again, everything is on my phone. I just uploaded a video today on my Instagram, did 100% of it on Canva. So I'll tell you that's one of the main tools. And then Kai, how can a person become better so that they can do better? Whew. I would say self-awareness comes into play, which is very hard for young people at this time because you're still not 100% sure about yourself. So that might be difficult to figure out. But it goes back to the previous question of you honestly have to fail. That's how you get to know yourself,
Yes.
right? The only thing is, if you're thinking of something to do and there's a failure rate involved or there's a risk involved, ask yourself, if I don't achieve it, am I really set back on my goal? Or does it really impact, as I say, my reputation or my success? Or is it just a stumbling block for me to move ahead? And then once you do that, you can actually become better so that you can be better.
We have one last question here. How do we help our parents understand the importance of social media?
That's a good question.
Ask your parents what age they want to retire and tell them social media could help with that. Because, like, I remember by my baba and her parents was arguing how much time her child was spending playing video games. And she got pissed off at me because I said, you know, the guy who won Fortnite got paid $1 million US, right? I was like, you should let your son play some video games after he's finished his work because he can make you retire early or at least get some US. I was like, the 9 people who came in the top 10 get 50,000 US. Like, it's not what it was long ago. There's actually, and this is the thing, we live in the best world ever. Parents, again, people like me, your parents are older. We came up in the era where there wasn't much to do. You had limited careers. It was doctor, lawyer, engineer, right? That's it. That's all you could have done. But now we live in a world where you can do anything and make money. What you have to show your parents is a game plan. What you have to show your parents is not something based on emotion. What you have to show your parents is an alternative. Listen, I want to do this for 3 months to get this particular outcome. I need support in this aspect, right? You have to map it out and plan it out for them to see. That's the only way. And even if you have restrictions, depending if your parents religious, financial, etc., there are lots of stuff that are free. There are lots of things you could do within your that don't break your religious aspects that your parents could be on board with for you for social media, especially if it creates awareness and it helps you develop your skills. So create a plan for them. But actually, here's a question to ask them. Go and say, Mommy and Daddy, if I had to present an idea for you to come on board, how would you like me to present it? You have to speak their language. And if you don't speak their language, then it's hard for them to understand. So you can't present something to them like in TikTok. Like you have to present it to them where they can understand. If it might be in just pure numbers or just written out, you have to explain it that way to them. And then promise to give them updates and commit to your word.
So everyone, with that, we have come to the end of the session. Before we go, Noah, would you like to add anything?
Well, Mr. Jarrod, I want to thank you again for sharing your knowledge and wisdom, especially on the topics. Um, I would like to thank you, my co-host Zachary, and you, the audience, for tuning in. Um, Level Up is our chance to be our best self, and you can catch more exciting presentations on levelupyourself.com.
Thank
I
you
want a
very
t-shirt. I
much.
want a t-shirt, please.
Thank you very, very much, Noah. Jarrod, before we go, what words of advice would you like to leave us with?
Be comfortable with failing. Use Google and YouTube to your heart's content, because everything that you're trying to learn is probably there for you that you can learn for free.
Okay.
That's
Thank
the
you
best
very,
advice I
very
can give you.
much. Thank you very much for your
My
insights.
pleasure.
And for today, Level Up Festival is being delivered by the Heroes Foundation, Create Future Good, We Say Yes organization, and the Caribbean Male Action Network and Zinc Network, with support from the United States Embassy in Trinidad and Tobago. I'd like to thank everyone for joining and check out more on levelupyourself.com. Take care.